of the Copyright Act 2018, which seeks, among others, to strengthen the copyright regime by way of giving protection to the creative industry, by way of ensuring, at the end of the day, punitive measures are indeed put in place for breaches relating to copyrights. So the bill, as processed, was indeed taken by the Council and approved for transmission to the National Assembly for passage into law, the essence of which is to give effect and protection to creative and intellectual property through the process of ensuring adequate punitive measures, among others. The third memo was a memo that has given approval for the payment of professional fees for the lawyers that were engaged by federal government relating to the case that was instituted some time back by MTN against the federal government in pursuance of the penalty of over 1 trillion that was at a point imposed by the government against MTN. MTN, as you could rightly remember, instituted an action seeking to restrain the federal government from making recovery of the over 1 trillion naira penalty that was imposed on it. So arising from that, the federal government engaged the services of certain solicitors, lawyers, to now put off a defense on its behalf. Arising from the defense that was put in place by the lawyers, the case was eventually settled by the parties amicably. And arising from that settlement, the lawyers were entitled to their fees. The federal government has now sanctioned the payment of the sum of 500 million naira for the 330 billion agreed upon. If you recall, there was a compromise, a settlement by which MTN eventually agreed to effect payment of 330 billion as full and final settlement for the breaches that were said to have set into the conduct of their operations.
The 2018 budget is that it will be signed next week. You will be told the specific day, but the one thing we are sure of is that the budget will be signed next week. Thank you very much.